walk us through the process of you coming to Iowa State and your relationship with Jimmy?
Yeah, so Jimmy and I go back to South Dakota State 2016 when I got hired there as the running backs coach. And he was the linebackers coach. And we just kind of instantly met and kind of just build bridges. You know, as soon as I got there, it was easy relationship to build. You know, he's a more serious dude. I'm more kind of lighthearted dude, so I can get him out of shell a little bit, and it's probably why he hired me here. But it's been a great relationship. Like I said, we've been tight for about 10 years now, and when he got this opportunity, he called me, and it was something I couldn't turn down. Transition is going well. I just finally got moved in my house 2 days ago. So we're in the stages of unpacking and organizing, all that good stuff. But it's been a great transition. The players have been great. The people here have been welcoming. So I'm excited.
How did you kind of approach recruiting when you came in? I'm sure that's different than when you have to kind of build up a position versus coming into an already established.
You know, I think that, you know, with the transfer portal and all that good stuff, you want to try to find guys that got a chip on their shoulder. You want to try to find guys that you kind of already knew in the process. You know, in New Mexico, we had good success because the guys that we brought in, we had relationships with those guys before they even hit the portal. So you kind of go back to that because I think that, you know, when you're in the building, you want to find guys that you know and you trust because you really don't know what you're going to get, you know. So I think that makes it easier if you already kind of know guys going forward, and then that can kind of make that process a little bit more easier in the transition of it.
Bringing in Cameron Petaway and Salahadin Allah. Hope I said that correctly.
Yeah, Salahadin Allah.
Allah, I was close. Those two kids, what kind of traits did they have that brought you to them?
Well, Salahadin, I recruited him out of high school, so I knew him. He was committed to me at Sam Houston for 6 months, and then he committed to Oregon State that last week of recruiting back in, what was that, 2004, something like that. So I already knew him. Saladin's a big, fast guy. Got a good agile, super explosive. Ran 10.8 in high school at like 195. Now he's a little bit overweight. You know, we got to get him down to back to about 215, 210. But first of all, he's a good kid. He was class president in his high school. Super smart, super intelligent. Come from a really good family background. Just to trace with him with good power and combination, good power and speed. Something that's rare, you know, you can't find rare often, but with good character, you know. So that's the biggest thing with him. That's intrigued me. Not only his skill set is good, but his character is excellent. And I think that once we get him going in the right direction and get his weight down, I think he'll go for us to be reckoned with. Cam Petaway, man, he's electric. You know, he's a MAC player, freshman of the year, and you know, he's a smaller dude, but he have really good bursts out of stands, first 10, 15-yard burst suddenness, good twitch about him, can make guys miss in space, can really have a change of pace of the game type guy. And so excited about him. He's a great kid as well, come from a great family background. And again, the character of these young men is what really intrigues me. When you find guys that can play football and that's very competitive but have really good character, that intrigues me when in the recruiting process.
With Petaway, you see him, you know, with all the stats on kick return. Are those kind of the attributes that you're talking about, the twitchiness, ability to miss in space?
Yeah, I mean, even on quick kick return, he's a force. But like, if you turn on the tape and just see the guy running between the tackles, he ain't scared to run between the tackles. But you can see the sudden quickness and the twitchiness in them and the bursts. You know, coming out in and out of his cuts and his stance, but was very, very electric. But I mean, the first play ever in his college career, he took it back for a touchdown on kick return. You know, so. And he's a young dude, so I'm really excited to see what he's going to bring to the table, how he's going to compete in this style of play of football, and that we're going to run here at Iowa State.
Having an appreciation for running backs, I'm sure you got an opportunity to talk to Eddie George about him. What was it like to be able?
You know, I didn't get a chance to talk to Coach George about him, but knowing who Coach Eddie is and the type of career he had, I know he's probably serious about running back. So I knew that getting him talking to, even getting him on a visit, talking football with him, you can tell that he was intelligent, and Eddie George had a piece of that, of teaching him the game and understanding pass pro, even as a scat back. So getting a guy from Eddie George tree is probably not a bad deal. But I didn't get a chance to talk with him through the recruiting process. I did communicate with Coach George a couple of years ago at the NFL Combine. He's a super dude as well. So I'm sure that he got a really good start to his career because of Coach George.
How's River Peppers looking coming off this?
Man, you know, he's looking well. I think he's progressing along pretty fast. He just got out the boot a couple of weeks ago, so I think he's progressing. You know, and I'm excited about Rivers. You turn on his high school tape, you turn on some practice film. I mean, he's big and fast, and he's explosive. So hopefully we can get him back sometime, you know, later in the season. But we'll see what happens.
And Aiden Flora, as one of the main returners from the team last year, what are you looking for from him on the field and off the field, and helping people acclimate?
Yeah, with him being here already, being a guy that played, that's familiar with Iowa State, I expect him to be a leader in his room. I expect him to help these young guys come along, these new guys come along, and learn how to continue to practice and be a pro on and off the field. You know, he got excellent skill set as well, with his kick return ability and his way to run the football. I think he's going to have an exciting season for us.
Coach Rogers has talked a lot about wanting to be a run-heavy offense. Obviously, that matches with you as a running backs coach. But what is kind of your coaching and development philosophy to kind of match those two?
Yeah, I think, you know, I want to try to build guys up from the ground up. You know, I'm a more so building a total man, not just a football player. So the development piece comes from mentally, physically, spiritually, academically, and set you up financially. You know, for me. So we're gonna do it from ground level. We're gonna do it in the classroom. We're gonna do it in the weight room. We're gonna do it from a relationship standpoint, and just develop these men to be mature and have pro-like habits in everything they do. So being a running backs coach and wanting to run the football from a head coach perspective, and being with an OC that want to run the football, as long as we get the right guys in here and get them going in the right way, I think we're going to have great success.
And you've known, in that kind of decade that you've known Coach Rogers, how do you feel like your personal style has evolved and grown on and off with him as a coach, but also on your own?
Yeah, you know, we just having real conversations with Coach over the years, you know, talking about head coaching, talking about development, talking about ways to be creative in recruiting. You know, I think it's grown tremendously, you know, because, you know, it's funny, you know, I can't look at Coach Rogers as the linebackers coach no more at South Dakota State, you know, because we don't probably, you know, said some things and done some things off the grid. That's not probably, you know, professional, but no, that's my boy at the end of the day. And you know, I want to help him be successful in this position that he's in, and I want to help the Cyclones be, you know, the top of the top, the best of the best, Big 12 championships every year.
Jimmy told us he doesn't have any fun. He's all family. He's all football. He's all business all the time.
That's true. That's true. But I feel like I got a good enough relationship. I can get him out of the shell a little bit.
What's that take? I mean, what's he like at the show?
You know, he liked to laugh. You know, he liked to have fun. It don't take much. You just gotta do it. You know, some people probably scared to do it because they don't know him, because they always got this seriousness face about him. But deep down inside, man, he's lighthearted. You know, he like to giggle and laugh a lot about things, man. So you just got to get to know him. You'll be okay.
Thanks so much.